Whether it's to inspire the senses or enhance your imagination, abstract art and one-off pieces which create the feeling of uniqueness may be important to some homeowners. On this episode of Home Sweet Home, we'll get the homeowner's perspective on this, as well as we'll get to talk to one of the creators of some of these pieces. Stay tuned.
Hi.
Hi, Alison. How
Welcome.
are you?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Have a seat.
So we want to talk about your love for the arts. Where do you draw your inspiration from for your own home?
I love color.
Okay.
I'm a colorful girl. If my children are here, you'd say they're colorful people. The three of us together, me and my two daughters, we fill out the whole room with color with our personalities. My husband, not so much. And that's just who we are. We just love a lot of bursts of color. So my couch, for example, is brown. Many people say, Alicia, brown, that's not. But I can put any color I want on the cushions, and I can change it up as much as I feel like. I love dance. I love people. I love anything that means anything to do with God and my faith. We're a Christian family. Those things are important and reflected. I also love flowers, just in case anybody wants to give me any.
Hint, hint.
Honey, if my husband is watching. Yeah. I also love flowers, and tropical flowers, and the just big bursts of blooms and color are lovely.
Why was it important to you to have custom-made pieces in your own home?
There's something to be said about being different. I am a Jamaican, and I'm always mindful of the fact that I'm a Caribbean woman, and a Jamaican at heart and soul. And we are a different breed of people.
For sure.
Altogether. We're different. And I feel like there's so much in our culture and in our society that you can bring out. There's so much negative. I think art and having different little eclectic pieces around just kind of make you feel even more Jamaican. More, this was made by this person and he did that. And
no, I can imagine the other spaces in your house, but for this space that we're in, what would you say is your favorite piece? Painting, rug?
This.
This is?
It is. It is.
It too.
This was made, or this is a depiction of a friend of mine, Alicia Thomas, Amarie Art. And long ago, in 2013, when we worked together, and she just started to paint things at the office, and she just thin pieces of canvas that just flip out the back and you can put it on your desk. She made a couple for me, a purple dancer, ironic, right? And she started to do other things, and I just love the story behind it. Is more why it's one of my favorites, because she's making art on rugs. Right. I mean, what? What is that? Yes. So I'm very proud of her, and it just helps that I absolutely love. And look at the colors, the colors.
It's definitely popping.
Yes. And then also, she made the piece just going up the stairwell. It's one of her signature pieces, so people would see that and know it's her, the face with all the color. And she actually made 4 like that for me, 4 miniature ones, which are just black and one color each, which I hung together at my office. So that's the mother piece, and the children are at the office. I have other favorites too. I mean, I'm obviously sentimental. So because I didn't want a regular guest book at my wedding when I got married to the lovely gentleman I did 9 years ago. But when persons were coming in, they were like, where's the guest book? Where's the guest book? So instead of writing something, I decided, why not have people paint? So they painted their names on canvas.
Oh, nice. Now, your home is very unique and I love it. Do you have to spend money? Like, does it have to be expensive for people to achieve this look or this kind of uniqueness?
No, it doesn't. I choose not to spend a lot of money because this is just a personal feeling now. I don't think that hiring somebody to just change your house is what would make me feel comfortable in the space. So I went to a little store beside my supermarket and I saw my curtains, the curtains that are here now, which I've had now for 8 years, because I saw them and they were all different pieces, and at the time they were $800 each. I said, let me just throw them together. They don't have to match. They're just colorful. I don't need them to match. This purple, orange, and green. Here we go. Drop some white in between. We're good to go. Also, you have to take care of your things yourself. And also, you don't have to buy everything all at once. The mistake that many people make is, and it puts them into a lot of debt, is to go out and do a huge spending spree on artwork, on rugs, on curtains, cushions, couch, all at the same time. You don't have to do that. Do a little.
Right.
Bring some more color into your house each time, and every time, and also get some flowers, these tropical flowers that people have. You see men selling them on the street all the time. Put that in a vase or put that in a whatever, wherever you want to put it. And that just brings a whole room to life.
So how would you say this transcends into, you know, when you have to entertain people, when you have guests over and things like that?
Do you know, I really believe that people, when they enter a home, they have to feel welcome and at home. I am an entertainaholic. So I want my friends and my family here all the time, much to my family's dismay sometimes. But I want them here and I want them to feel welcome. And that is the greatest artwork, I think. Like, just your people in a home is the greatest decoration, in my opinion. It's not like I'm choosing colors or artwork or the rug or the cushions or whatever for people to feel good. Although this couch, not just for its color, but my husband has to watch NFL every Sunday, and therefore it has to be comfortable. So I don't want anything to be stoic or something that you don't feel like you can touch or that you can, you know. Not many of the pieces, by the way, have glass on them or over them because I have 2 children and they'll climb up and they'll scratch, and I don't want people to feel like they can't touch anything here. It's a home.
It feels very homey, I must say. Come back. Come back. I'm already invited. Thank you so much for having us and inviting us into your home. I'm excited to see some of these pieces up close, but thank you so much for talking with us.
You're welcome.
Don't go anywhere. Home Sweet Home will be right back.
Now, before the break, we showed you our visit to Alicia's place, where she chose to decorate with bold, vibrant pieces. She had said that her husband wasn't too keen on decorating, but this homeowner is. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Garfield Grandiston. Welcome to my bachelor pad. I think when you come into my space, you'll find that the art represents like a part of my personality. It's very eclectic. So I have different types of art. I'll have different artists. A lot of them are mainly Jamaican artists because I don't know, for some reason I'm all about this by Jamaica concept, from the way I dress to know my space at home. So literally when you come into my space, it's very warm, it's very relaxing, and I think that's how I like when people see me. That's how they feel when they come to my space. I'm gonna let you know a little secret that a lot of people don't know, and they're probably gonna say I'm a liar, but I'm a homebody. So as much as you probably see me on the social scene or you see me working, blah blah blah, I love to be at home. And so for me, I don't often get to spend as much time here as I want to. So when I do, I want to be as comfortable as possible. So when I come home, I want to be able to have a glass of wine, Apple TV. It's just this kind of zen, it just relaxes you after you come from work, and it gets you ready for the next day. So that's what I want in my space to represent. I don't like monotony. I think I have a very dynamic personality, so I get bored easily. So right now, I look in the kitchen color and I want to change it. But that's just me. Just like how I dress. I dress based on my mood. My home space is also based on my mood. So you might come here another day and you see black and white. There's just one wall, all the frames are black. That's really and truly what I want for this space, but I don't all the time feel that way, and so I kind of shift a little bit. I think my most expensive piece would probably be the Craig Pangsang piece, and that was, Lord, I had to save up a whole heap for that one. I think that was almost roughly $200,000, like 100 enough, but it spoke to me. It spoke to me. So oh God, I did make a lot of sacrifices to get that one, and I think the gratification I get from it is, there's no value on that. There's something about buying a piece of art that is very relaxing, and when I look at it, I actually consider it an investment. Because, and as I always say to my friends, I'm not buying art for now or for this space. I'm buying for my future home, because Lord knows when I can afford to buy a house, I won't be able to afford to buy the house and the art. So after buying the house, I already have my art. I can, fully furnish it and be comfortable. So I think I'm making the sacrifices now to buy it. I really am out of wall space, as you can see, but what I've started to do, don't laugh at me, but based on my mood again, I switch them around. So it's like a revolving art gallery, they call it. So that's just it, as a me, crazy me, but that's how I enjoy my space, and that's how my close friends enjoy my space as well. I think it's always a nice visual. Whenever I have my little, or whether dinner parties or barbecues or whatever, it's always nice to have that visual element. I mean, there's sometimes when my friends would come over and they're like, that new. And then we probably sit down and we talk about it, and then I've introduced them to whether the artist or the designer or whatever, and then it goes from there. They will go and get a piece, or they recommend it to somebody else. So it kind of has that trickle-down effect. I think my favorite piece would be from Amarie. That's one of them. And it's the one with the female form. And I have that in probably everything. I have it in the cup, I have it in the plate, I have it in the rug, I have it in the picture. And I think that's because I have so many strong, influential women in my life. When I first saw this piece, it kind of spoke to me a little bit. I didn't know I would go and get all these different things in it, but it just so happens it's kind of like an effect, like a ripple effect. I got one and another piece come, and sometimes I have to draw myself back and say, You don't need no more, you know. I've also have some from Crystal Ball, another Jamaican artist. The picture is literally a guy holding his head like this, like he's in despair or something. But my interpretation is not despair, it's just a calm, just a relaxed kind of, you know, getting yourself ready again for the next day. So those are two of my favorites. My friend said my house is a gallery, but I don't treat it as a gallery. I just treat it as a sanctuary. Come and relax, have fun, unwind, that type of thing. My advice to homeowners, or young homeowners rather, more importantly, in terms of starting out, is to treat a home as you treat an outfit. You know, when you start in a new job, you buy a few staple pieces that you always need, like a white shirt, a black pants, a black pair of shoes. So you have the staple pieces, and then you build around them till you have a complete outfit. You have a full suit, like I have a full 3-piece suit, pretty much. So I always use that as my little piece of advice to persons, if ever they ask.
Thanks for that, Garfine.
We take our final break on Home Sweet Home. We'll be right back.
Now, you've seen her art in both homes. Now let's meet the lady who could be bringing these distinctive pieces to your home.
Hi, Candy.
Hi, Alicia. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you. How is everything? Now, Alicia, I must comment on how beautiful and vibrant this space is. I just love it. But I want to know, how did you get started in art and designing these pieces?
The thing about it is I've always loved to draw from an early age. I remember in grade 9, actually, I was going through a magazine, and I saw where somebody did a mural. First time seeing anything like this. I went home and I asked my mother if I could, you know, paint the walls. Surprisingly, she said yes. And, you know, right now to this day, there are people dancing in the room on the walls. I have a big face on one wall. So it started there as it relates to experimenting with paint. It was later in college, overseas, where I visited a friend of mine who was painting, and you know, she gave me my first canvas to work with, and my paintbrush and everything, and she just said paint. And that was the first time doing an actual abstract piece. You know, it wasn't up until 2016 where I started branching off into, you know, doing the pillows and rugs and, you know, putting my stamp on plates and cups and all these other mediums.
Now, even though your pieces may look like they're abstract, they are not by any means. Describe what you have in your artwork.
Well, a lot of times what you'll find is, yes, I may have a very abstract background, but I try to still put some form of image on there. So, for example, you'll notice a lot of my art pieces have an image of a dancer. By no means can I dance, but there's just something about, you know, the free-flowing, the freeness of, you know, putting that image on my art pieces. So I tend to use that a lot. And then I also find myself putting a lot of images of faces on my pieces. So it may still have a hint of abstract on there. The thing about it is, or the beauty about abstract in general, you know, I may see a dancer, or that was my intention, but somebody else sees something completely different, and that's just the beauty of abstract art.
What do you consider when customizing pieces for clients? Do you take into consideration their color scheme, or do you just do your own thing?
Well, the thing about it is it depends on the client itself. If sometimes I get clients who actually know exactly what they want.
Right.
You know, they may say to me, Alicia, I love this piece, but instead of using red here, I wanted to use blue. Or get that client who absolutely have no idea. You know, they have a space and they say they love my work, but they just want me to come in and help them.
Right.
So in a case like that, I may actually go to that person's home, and the things I look for is the color of the wall, the space itself, how big the space is, the wall space itself. Actually look at their furniture, you know, what colors they're working with, and also the decor itself.
Right.
And then, you know, talk to them, you know, get a feel for their personality to see what type of image that it is that I'll do for them. Or there may be instances where I say to them, you know, look through my art pieces and give me an idea of what it is that you like. And then from there, you know, I start to do my work. Throughout the process too, I'll share with them images. So if it is that when I'm complete and I send them the final product and they say, you know, this pink, it's a little too bright, you know, tone it down for me, I'll do that and then send them the final product. Once it's approved, I'll deliver it if I can. Or now that I have an actual store front, they can pick it up there. I think art is one of the most important elements of a space. I tend to use a lot of bright and vibrant colors, so it just brings the place to life. So if it is that, say, a person has neutral colors, you know, plain walls, soft walls, you know, that pop of color will definitely, you know, enhance that space.
Now, you see, because I've been following you for years, I know that this is an Amarie piece, and it's just really, really nice. I love the rug, I love the coasters. In fact, I love this entire space, and I think the cushions and all these little elements really, you're right, bring it to life. So good job with that.
Thank you.
But which are your favorites to make, and which would you say are most popular amongst your clients?
Well, my favorite thing to do is actually the actual painting itself. At the end of the day, all the other mediums derive from my actual painting. I mean, it's really therapeutic, especially after working a very long day. You know, to come home and paint, it's very relaxing. But what I absolutely love seeing my art on is the rugs. The rugs.
I think that's my favorite.
You know, the rugs are just absolutely amazing. And the thing about the rugs, it's one of a kind piece. I mean, you can't go anywhere else in the world and see this Amarie art rug.
For sure, and it's one thing that the pieces are on walls and bring this level of vibrance to the room, but having it on the floor,
Right.
is a different level. I really like it too.
I actually have a client who bought a rug, but he decided to put it on his wall. So he actually hung the rug in his home on a wall.
And while we're talking about the rugs, how do you work out the pricing for them?
Well, for the rugs itself, there are two different types of rugs. You have hand knotted and you also have tufted rugs. The hand knotted rugs, I mean, this is a type of rug that can last you for generations. And a rug like that takes on average about 4 weeks to do, versus the hand tufted rugs, which could typically take 1 to 2 weeks to produce. Of course, the price difference between the two types of rugs would vary, but of course, the bigger the rug too, the higher the cost as well. But I mean, like I said, the beauty about the rugs is that it's a one-of-a-kind piece.
Now, we previously visited Alicia and Garfine, and I find that they kind of have a knack for art. Do you find that all your clients are like that, or is it generally like a mix of people?
You know, it's funny that you say that, because from time to time I'm more realizing that it's your average homeowner that actually tend to like the vibrancy of my artwork. You know, I'll have people in their middle 20s, straight up to people, you know, in their 50s who gravitate to my artwork. So it does vary.
Why would you encourage people to buy an original Amarie art or just an original piece as opposed to just something you buy in a store?
Well, I mean, you know, it's nothing like having your own one-of-a-kind piece on your wall that, you know, you can never see anywhere else. I mean, there may be times where I may have a particular piece and somebody may say to me, Alicia, you know, I want something similar to this, just change the color for me. But then I get those clientele that actually say to me, Alicia, I want you to do a piece for me and for only me. And, you know, for a piece like that, of course, the price would be a little bit higher. Not significantly, but slightly higher. But for that client, they're happy to know that they can't go anywhere else and they won't see that painting anywhere else. And a thing that tends to happen a lot too, I mean, this actually becomes their conversational piece. Right. You know, as they walk in that room, you know, it lights up the space, and it's just a focal point of that space for the client.
So Alicia, as someone who has an artistic eye, and you sort of have that eye for decor as well, what kind of tips would you give homeowners for designing their own spaces?
Well, the thing about it is, you know, if somebody already has quite a few paintings in their home, and say, for example, they get bored with it, what they can do is actually switch it around. Right, because, you know, they'll be amazed at how it changes the perspective of the space once they move it around. Also, another thing is too, you know, if a person is very ambitious like myself, they can actually use the artwork to pick up all the colors in the room, as we have here with the rug and the couch. I have a green couch. But on the other side of things, you don't have to match. By no means does your artwork have to match your furniture. Artwork can actually also be used to enhance the room. So if it is that, say for example, they have a vase that is curvy, they could choose an artwork that has waves in it, you know, to help enhance the room.
Well, Alicia, I see homeowners are making excellent use of your art in their homes, and I'm looking forward to seeing your pieces in many more homes going forward. And of course, thank you for inviting us into your own and showing us some of your own pieces.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
That's all we have time for this week. Tune in next week for another informative episode of Home Sweet Home. And of course, if you have any interesting Home Sweet Home ideas, feel free to call our office at 908-0919.